the King Promise look alike. It's an insult. Charlie King Promise the fresh boy. Everybody gets stats. Fine. We all have throwback Thursdays. But I know be this one.
Once again, we are back to discuss issues relating to the arts and entertainment with a touch of wit. Hello and welcome to eForum on GhanaWeb TV. The name is Abrantipa. Today we are looking at the celebrity lookalikes, and later on we'll focus on Ambolley and KOD. I'm sure you've been following the events, a bit of back and forth, but Romeo, Ambassador Romeo is Medina Assemblyman and Medina Social Welfare Assemblyman, event organizer, artist, manager, a poet, former comedian. Romeo, Romeo, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
If you are fine, Medina for say. Kwesi Martinez is a film producer and then entertainment analyst. Kwesi, thanks for joining us. If you are fine.
Oh, you're
last time, I think Sena Miche TV, I've forgotten the channel. And I am say, oh, Abrantipa share me tenea. Say me look alike net soon. Where's your look alike, Anna?
Dabi.
Unyan shy. Romeo share look alike.
As will be 7 by me,
Made a time. But you see, this, I think the last time we had this conversation was when the whole thing started. There was this Kwame Eugene look-alike who took a picture with Kwame Eugene at, I think, Angel FM Studios or so. And since then, we've seen Kiddie, and now there is Medical, there is King Promise. This is what Timo, and they are going for interviews and are you comfortable with the fact that we have all these celebrity lookalikes all over, wherever you pass, and the fact that they are coming out with even a song and they are going around for radio interviews?
I don't have a problem with people having that craze or crave of looking like someone, or the fact that there seems to be some little resemblance, so they want to capitalize on it to show themselves to fame. But my problem has to do with the media houses, giving audience to people of sorts. My reasons being that there are a lot of underground artists who are doing well, who are looking for avenues to project their jobs, their works. These people are not giving the opportunity, but there's a group of people who are capitalizing on other people's fame. And you're giving them audience at the expense of the original artist. Like, sort of like having a parody, replica account. And then someone is running an interview, and sometimes to some extent they end up even performing their songs. Remember this guy, I think he's late, the guy who was Anochi Supremo. You know, he had that kind of in all sense, even the voice, everything looks, you would think is actually Lumba's son. That's how other people projected him to be, and for him, his stance was even that he saw that Lumba as a father. So he wanted to get close, so that he will also, through that, he'll be modeled and become someone better. But then that Lumba also didn't like the idea, because it looks like I'm a legend, I'm rated high, and before someone gets me to perform, people go through so much. People only hear of me when they are playing my song online, or it's a CD or pen drive or whatever. But if it has to do with performance, it has to go through me. But Anochi Supremo was doing those like mini performance, so people will not miss the real Daddy Lumba, because they could have, even if not the originality, they could have someone who could deliver that flavor. And it's bad business. Honestly, it's bad business. It's a different ball game if the person has a band and then you join the band and you are performing together. You're also building your CV or repertoire of sounds, so that in future, even when you're alone, like the Ofurian Ponsers, who later became men of their own, it's fine. But picking the person's image and feeding from it, for me, it's a no-no. Just like social media, if not for the blue ticks on Twitter and then that of Facebook, it's easy for people to have a parody account to act like someone, and it's criminal. So my problem is not in with the people. My problem has to do with the media houses who are giving audience to those people. And everyone will start using anyone's image, or in the name of lookalike. You get it? I know, like, it doesn't sit well. Maybe problem in media houses, no. Because a lot of people in the fray who are looking for opportunities.
But these people too may have talents. You heard me say that they are coming out with a song, and there are quite a number of people who seem intrigued by the fact that they have a song.
Abrantipa, until recently, where they're having a song together, most of them perform. When you talk about kiddie lookalike, you try performing kiddie song. If you talk about even the guy like the medical lookalike, he tried to rap like medical. You get it? The looks fine. People look up to people, but the commercial aspect is where my problem is. You get it? When artists are even struggling to make shows, to even get find avenues to even promote their things, if not for social media, and then these people are occupying all those spaces which, in real sense, were meant for the original artist. So it makes it very difficult.
Martinez, if you were one of these artists and you are not being impersonated, but people are coming to me for the mere fact that I look like you, so they want me at an event not to perform your song, but I mean, this is Kwame Eugene lookalike, this is Kiddie lookalike. They are not impersonating you in any way. They have not gone to take any money to say, I am Kwame Eugene, I'm coming to perform. Would you be perturbed?
Well, it depends. I mean, if there's that communication, if I'm actually aware of what is going, if it's explained properly or clearly for me to actually understand the whole vibe, maybe I might not be that angry. Might be cool with me because, like you said, I think Romeo rather Anoche Supremo, Dio Jr. They met Lumba, and at a point they even performed together. Lumba was happy to see him because it's very interesting. There's that belief that every human being is created 3 or 4. And so you one day meet someone that challenge yourself, you see yourself in that person. When it comes to lookalike, it's normal. Even our kids start from home. Okay, your daughter or your son, that's your lookalike. But where maybe the media gives it attention is the fact that these are celebrated people or personalities, and we have some guys or some people from nowhere just looking like them. Definitely, attention will be given to them. Not as maybe promoting them, but it's news, it's story, it's entertainment. You get it? So, for me, I think it's normal. It's cut across celebrities having looks alike around, especially when you go into the football circles. We've seen Neymar look alike, and he looked just like Neymar. We've seen Messi. At a point, he became a very huge problem, especially with the Messi look-alike, because there was rumor that he has conned 23 women. Allegedly, he has conned 23 women. Because when they see him, they think that's Messi.
One of the points Romeo raised was that it's affecting the original acts, because the attention that should have been given to them, which you have addressed. I mean, the point of the media. There are some who say that what they are doing, what the lookalikes are doing, will increase the streams of the original acts. Is that the case for you? Do you see that, or that's far-fetched?
I understand where Romeo is coming from, because obviously, whether we like it or not, they will take something from the artist. It doesn't matter them maybe playing shows or performing to people, that aside. But once you see them, attention will be switched to them. So clearly they take something from the artist. At a point you might not feel comfortable, depending on how attention is given to him or her. And that is where Romeo is coming from. For the first time, once you spot them, it is news. But when we give them too much attention, or when we give credence to their image, that is where it somehow becomes right, because you give them some kind of recognition, and at a point they will feel big, they feel like they are stars. In fact, they will act like them. Maybe they might, like I said earlier, they might not play shows in the name of the artist, but there are certain advantages that they will be, exposed to or introduced to, and they will take them because, let's say, Kwame Eugene lookalike travels to
Nkranza
or Fanchinebra. They probably people out there who have not seen Kwame Eugene before. That's the real Kwame Eugene. When they meet him, Charlie, the guy go fit take advantage for them. You get it. Unless we in the capital city that we are more,
exposed to him.
Yes. Apart from that,
the picture Kwame Eugene took with one of them, and then even Kiddy. Yeah. Would you say that was
an
endorsement of a sort?
Yeah, I feel it's also an issue because these are things people capitalize on and start swindling people. And it's easy to do because these are people, they say, okay, they have references, that's with pictures and even videos, with even interviews to back their claims. And then, okay, here am I. Me perform me crowd how share the videos even video ni go online and pull one of these stories where and then we get it whatever they would have done before you realize why job baby. So I'm looking at the swindling aspects, the image rights, you get it. People struggle to make names for themselves, and even with the streams celebrities are not getting enough, and then you have people tapping out of those numbers, which are not enough. Of course, it will take so much from them. For me, I think it should be shattered right from the word go, and the media should call in and rather create spaces for underground artists. You remember this guy? Is it Barry, the guy who I met him here some time ago?
Who?
Thank God you left. Your ex left you for me.
Bakadabri. Yeah.
See, there are people doing good stuff who will need the avenue to promote good things.
But Romeo, beyond what you are saying, don't you feel any form of excitement in the industry with the presence of these people?
Maybe I don't fancy that celebrity thing.
Okay.
But I feel the people's brands. Branding is sensitive, and if care is not taken, if there's a dent, let's assume this one of them ends up committing sort of a serious vice like rape or something, and it's Kwame Eugene lookalike, Kwame Eugene lookalike, and people are using that. You realize they are on billboards. Maybe the person would really want to do, but say, this guy can do. When they see him, they might not even think twice. They might think he's the one. So let's just use him at a cheaper cost. You are killing someone else's business. So in all facets of the entertainment benefits, in terms of image, revenue raking, streams, they affect. And in the long run, people might think it's just for the fun of it. But here they are trying to come up with a song, and they will be using the parody names attached to them, and they'll be promoting their songs, and people will be streaming at the expense of the original artist. So the authentication is being eroded.
Fine, you don't like what they are doing. Any panel was a Kwame Eugene, and people say yes or say no. What should he do with the image that he has now, so that it will have a positive influence on them, in order not to affect the original Kwame Eugene?
Okay, Abrantipa, in elsewhere, there are replicas of presidents or leaders, so that if the president isn't well and there is sort of an outdoor event, someone is seated, the person wouldn't speak, just that the presence of the president is needed, so that person is put in state. Meanwhile, the president is indisposed, maybe sick or bedridden or something, and then they put the person there. You get it? To cover a situation. That is how lookalikes are used elsewhere. For instance, our president here, if maybe he's in America, but no one knows he's in America, and then maybe he's going for treatment and security-wise, they didn't want anyone to know he's out of the country. They get a replica to sit in for him, and he looks like him. I've seen someone is within the government who looks like President Akufo-Addo. Maybe you've not noticed. You get it. There was even an issue of Adjasa for someone who looked like her. It was alleged that the person sat in for him while Adjasa was in the States. So all these things, like, they have the benefits in terms of in real life. So you can look like Kwame Eugene, but you're a medical doctor by profession. You don't have to perform Kwame Eugene's songs elsewhere to prove that you are his lookalike.
Martinez,
Boss.
yeah, what should these people be doing with their lives?
With these guys, I mean, you watch the video, they have come together. I don't get it.
The synergy.
It's an association. You have come together for what?
Lookalike
So it's like there's an agenda to go out there, search for any guy who
They're even
looks like
asking
a
for
celebrity.
investors.
What is the meaning? You see, that is where the problem comes. Yes, for Kwame Eugene lookalike, I mean, like you said, he has met Kwame Eugene, and it looks like he has gained some endorsements. Because once you take a picture with him, that's endorsement. Because if you Kwame Eugene appreciated the fact that, wow, this is, you know, something amazing. Fine. But if you're a musician, be yourself. When you try to sound like Kwame Eugene, because you have the looks, now you try to dress like him. You try to create the same hairstyle. You try to talk like him. That is dangerous.
You will not get any credits because everything will be given to Kwame Eugene.
You are not being fake. You get it? Yes, you look like him. After all, everybody looks like somebody. But when you come together and you are now trying to rap like medical because you are a medical lookalike, you try to sing like Mr. Drew because you are a Mr. Drew lookalike. What's the agenda? You come together and what? Call for investors. It makes no sense, especially with the King Promise guy. It's an insult to King Promise.
He says
the King Promise lookalike. It's an insult. Charlie King Promise is fresh boy. Everybody gets stats. Fine. We all have throwback Thursdays. But I know be this one.
Yeah. See, I have a lot of promise in my earrings. You see them real, like, lookalike.
That this is the real.
Even the ones I know, they are barbers.
He was in earrings like he promised. One of the videos I saw, they were entering a house or something, and he was in earrings. When you look at him from sideways, yeah, you see him to be King Promise wearing earrings, but when you look at him directly, he doesn't look like King Promise. Familiar lookalike. Charlie, what did they do? It be embarrassing.
Right. So that's Kwesi Martinez. He's a film producer. We'll go for a quick break. When we return, we'll talk about KOD and GhanaWeb Ambolley. Welcome back. You're watching eForum on GhanaWeb TV. The name is Abrantipa. I'm doing this with Magdona Nane Asari, aka Ambassador Romeo, and Kwesi Martinez. So last week we spoke about Ambolley and KOD, high life musician GhanaWeb Ambolley, and radio personality, event organizer, MC, fashion designer KOD. For those who may not be aware, Ambolley grants an interview, says VGM is an enemy to high life music, and that's because Nkommo Bonyum na say a reggae kra na say omo use the key language, you know, so I say a high life. So more or less categorization is a problem. And so KOD did a post and, you know, berated GhanaWeb Ambolley. Then Ambolley grants an interview and says that KOD is a child. He's a shallow-minded, and is the reason why he said those things. I'm going to Europe tour. I'm going on a Europe tour in May next year. My music, GhanaWeb Ambolley's music, and in June, I'll be back on tour. So when he sits and talks, can he take his clothes on tour as a designer like the way I am going to tour with my music? Can he take his DJing on tour like the way I am going on tour with my music, if these people talk, you know they are shallow-minded. So KOD comes back and says he is giving his final words on it. He comes out with an epistle. I'll read it quick, then I'll get your submissions. Final words to Ambolley. Lee won't sit on the VGMA board in and out for over 20 years and allow High Life to die.
That's Lee Dodu.
No, Lee.
Lee. Okay.
Lee, as in that's his Nicky, KOD.
Okay.
And allow High Life to die when he's played, produced, and managed some of the best High Life songs and artists for almost 30 years. Celebrated High Life musicians like Amanziba, Mr. Simons, Okreku Mante, Andy Dosty, Dinah Hobson, Kiki Bansin, and many great music talents and proponents won't sit and allow VGMA to be a curse to High Life when they sit on the board. It would take only an ungrateful artist to ever suggest VGMA is a curse to High Life. I typically wouldn't have commented when Ambolley said the VGMA is a curse to High Life, but I realized he's done lots of loose talks in the last couple of years, especially against his own colleagues and to people who should look up to him in the music industry. Choosing to make that unfortunate comment about VGMA in public, I decided to respond as a prominent member who is being part of the VGMAs and the board for over 20 years. Ambolley made vitriolic attacks on Stonebwoy, Daddy Lumba, and many of his colleagues these last few years. What's wrong with him? Since 1972, how many musicians from Takoradi has he produced or helped to the top? Hasn't he contributed to High Life's demise? If it's all about himself, every creative has the responsibility to evolve over time, else they go still. At a legendary status, one earns his place in their chosen field and endeavor, and should not make mediocre statements against his colleagues filled with malice and reckless baloney. That's not the place. Romeo saying, that's not the place of an icon. I know it's hard to learn to be left-handed in one's old age, but I guess Ambolley could learn from the late great Papa Yankson, Joe Mensah, C.K. Man, A.B. Crenso, and the celebrated Pat Thomas. True men with noble characters who remember those who looked out for them. Lee, the small boy, as he describes me, supported him for almost 30 years of his career and made sure he was not left out when he facilitated the legends Glow signed up when they came to Ghana. He shouldn't forget his insincerity with how he handled himself in that space. I always knew this day would come somehow. That's how I know him. A charlatan. Wisdom is not a preserve of the old age and gray hair. There are old men in communities, families, but children often rise to lead. These are my last words to the great Ambolley, our last from the good old Western stock. I still love music. Mic drops, and it comes with a picture of Jacob Echebilamte, Mactonto, KOD, Ambolley at the VGMAs or Ghana Music Awards in 2002. I don't know if around that time, meaning they're not sponsor. So yes, Ghana Music Awards. Yes, Empa. Romeo, now when I started.
Yeah.
Why you find the words so harsh?
Exactly. KOD's words were harsh. For me, honestly speaking, Ambolley's opinion about VGMA in regards to High Life, it's his opinion, and for me, I wouldn't fight someone over such an opinion. Even
when you are a board member of VGMA, you've served on the board and you know what the VGMA stands for, not to kill High Life. You don't comment on it.
No, you see, when someone makes such scathing attack on you, it's your business to educate people, right, on the whole thing, so that you kill the ignorance which is being spread. But then I also find it a bit not okay with KOD Ambolley's interview, where he referred to
KOD as shallow-minded.
It's too hard an insult. But if you study KOD's episode, it's loaded with hard words, like real insults. And I was thinking that 2 wrongs never make a right. And okay, let's say, because on this side of our world, people would always shield the old ones and then ask the younger ones to forget. But KOD also came out to also prove that he's not a small boy. The fact that Ambolley could even be his father or a big brother or uncle or something, he's not a small boy. So those languages, he also wasn't too okay with it. The real aspect I didn't like at all was when he said he has fed him before. It's not okay. You give someone bread at a particular moment was meant that you did good. So coming out to say tomorrow, if you're even giving someone water, the person will look at you twice. So yeah, you could have spoken your mind, could have attacked his works, and then even what he said to you could have just ignored the insults. But it's an epistle filled with so much insults. As a literature person, if you pick every word, if you want to analyze every word, it's naked insults. And that's not something we look up to. Young ones are looking, but if people have said what things about VGMA, even the real investors, the owners of the brand, do not come out to attack people. It dies out naturally. So for me, I'm not a fan of what KOD wrote, but it's also to mean that I support what Ambolleys said to KOD about being shallow-minded. If the child is not supposed to insult the adult is also not supposed to provoke the younger one. But KOD being that's energetic, you're vibrant and smart, intelligent, I didn't expect him to go to toe that line.
Martinez,
Boss,
you also think the words were too harsh?
oh yeah.
How should he have gone around it without the words that you consider as harsh? Maybe he doesn't see those words as harsh.
Boss, based on our orientations, everybody has his or her way of addressing issues or matters. And so we cannot direct KOD as to how he should go out. I mean, he's a full
grown man.
Yes. I was about to use a certain word before the grown
okay.
man. Yeah, but it will be proper. Yeah, so we cannot teach him his left from right. But there's a saying that silence is golden, especially when you've built a certain reputation.
But they also say silence kills.
But it's still golden.
They say, oh yeah,
You see, when Ambolley came out with those comments, asking whether he could tour with his clothing lines and DJing and all of that, so far, everybody I've heard commenting on that issue is actually in defense of KOD. So the people will fight for you. Because if you make a comment that you are wondering, you are asking if you could tour for, I mean, no, come on. So why would you even come back? And to me, I think he came to muddy the water. Because the KOD I know is a fine gentleman. Ambolley over the years is known for, you know, I'm not saying he's not a fine gentleman, but we know he's outspoken, coming hard sometimes and all of that. So for me, I think it's all in defense of high life. It tells you how we cherish our identity, because Ambolley's comment is based on the fact that he feels we need to protect high life.
Yeah.
Yes, and he feels VGMA currently, or let's say there are war schemes, and those who can be used as the front line, who can engineer this cause. Because once you're able to project a certain category in regards to high life as the ultimate, then some way, somehow, you are giving some relevance or recognition to high life. And then KOD also being a board member felt like, I mean, he's part of the scheme, and he also has to come in defense. And in doing so, I think he came hard at Ambolley by saying it's nonsense. I mean, you can disagree and share your opinion devoid of insult. Maybe the word nonsense is not an insult. It means there's no sense in what you are saying.
No, contextually with a reply,
exactly.
It makes it an insult.
Yes. But to Ambolley and to our African setting, if you tell an adult that what you said is actually nonsense.
Say it in Chi.
It's an insult. Automatically, he or she will take it as an insult. So that is where Ambolley also came in and went far, attacking KOD's brands. I mean, for him to come out with that clothing line, it tells you how he has toiled for it. And so when you attack that, he will come hard at you. But if I were to KOD, I wouldn't go the way he went. But hey, that's him.
Quick one, how do they resolve this under 30 seconds? The two personalities at the VGMs.
His final words. So I don't think he will come back, even if Ambolley come back to address his final words. I think KOD shouldn't come back. And from what he posted, the last one, but he still love him, and he mentioned artists, great artists that have contributed massively that he loves, and Ambolley is still included. So I don't see any hard feeling in this. It's all about share your view, let me share my view. With Georgia, we see the way forward, but sometimes the views come very hard, and it's normal. I mean, I don't see them fighting each other. It's just about disagreements.
Romeo, how do they resolve? How should they resolve this?
In a smart way, KOD should actually render an apology, and then the VGMA should release a statement. You see, the VGMA has evolved out of criticisms. You will not have all of us praise you. I'm one of the strongest critics of the VGMA. And when they also go well, we applaud them. So if someone comes out, he's one of the doings of high life. And he feels there was a year when Shatawale was giving
the high life song.
The high life song.
I know my level.
I know my level. So with all the people had their opinion, people share. So if he also felt that all these things have happened over the years, so he, in throwing out his 1 cent, he was overly emotional, and then talks about how the VGM is killing the high life. It's your business to educate the public, to make nonsense of what he said, but not saying nonsense of what he said. So now it's already done, and KOD's business as a board member, he wasn't even supposed to have revealed his membership status to the public.
No, I mean they are done with their job. So
no, but this is not the last time. This is not. So tomorrow, if Ambolley's song appears on, and he is part of the board, so technically people will feel that there won't be any fair judgment. So it's the job of the VGMA.
There are 14 board members or so. KOD cannot influence the entire board. This is what I keep
telling people. See, Abrantipa, as an assemblyman, it's easy for me to convince a fellow assemblyman because we share common things, common interests. So if we are on the same board and they say there are 14 people, if sometimes there are people who inherit people's enemies, there are people who are very close to KOD on the board. So if I have an issue with you and you are here, like, let's be real.
I get yes.
So it will not be put.
Initial comment appeared to be an attack on the board.
You get it. So that job was supposed to have been the job of the PR.
That's what I said.
Okay.
Not a board member.
Yes.
Otherwise, the Mr. Simons and all of them would release. But they are. I don't want to say they are matured enough. They're matured enough not to come out the way KOD did.
So quick one before we go. Quick one. Has Ambolley also tried to sit down with the board to address some of these things? That's a question I do ask. That we are talking about, hey, do this, do that. Have they also made it official? Like Musica. That's the body of the musicians. You get it? So if they feel something is not right with the award scheme, can they also sit down with the board? Because we are a body, especially when you represent the musicians. So this is high life. Okay, we are suggesting that's how we feel when you do it will help. Let's wait. So that you all judge your, but when you wait.
But I think they have workshops. They have
they do.
Fora where they discuss all these.
But he is talking about personal. Ambolley and then Musica or Ambolley and then the VGMA.
With the board, because you are a stakeholder, and if there's any suggestion, why not make it official? But when you wait for nominations to be out for a particular year, and then you come out with those kind of criticism, I don't think you are playing a role as an influencer.
So will they one day award him as one of the legends? Because every year, they award legends.
Lifetime Achievement Awards.
Yes.
Okay. ABR, in the wisdom of the board,
these are things.
Because there are other people who, ABR no more time as soon. You see a time as soon. We need to wrap up and then end the show. Thanks for watching the show. Thanks for staying with us. Thanks for coming. Ambassador Romeo is Assemblyman for Medina Social Welfare. He's an event organizer. He's an artist manager. He's a poet. He's an actor. He's the trainer for voice coach for beauty pageants. If you want to be a beauty pageant, beauty queen, come and see Ambassador Romeo. Be training. I'm wako Miss World. Wako Winyama Ghana. Saturday and then can news everybody and yes small crowd. Quizzy Martinez. Quizzy Martinez is a film producer and entertainment analyst. Thank you for watching this episode of eForum. Last time Nana room you see me dino mood Timbebo me dinya menka twi. E frame benefo. Benefo Boabin Abrantipa. Mapon.